So far in this course, we've been starting to explore what communication is. And hopefully by now you're starting to get this sense that we need to be considering more than just the words that we're speaking. We need to be really starting to think about how we say those words. But there's another part to the story. The words aren't the only thing that is communicating your message to your audience. Your body is too. In last week's session, we started to look at alignment. So we thought about that length in the spine, that width in the shoulders. That's part of body language, but there's more to it. I want us to think about open body language and closed body language. So, on the whole, for this video, I've been demonstrating open body language. There's this space, my palms are up and out to the world for most of what I'm saying. I'm freely gesturing, I'm smiling, there's a brightness in my eyes, and I'm thinking about making good eye contact. Closed body language could look like this. And I want for a second for you to imagine I'd done this from the start of the video. So this for me is more closed. So I'm literally blocking my body. And actually as I'm doing that, it's affecting how I feel. I don't actually feel as confident speaking to you. And I feel like I'm trying to keep you out. And if you're trying to keep people out, they'll sense that. Whereas here, it's really clear that I'm open. I want you to hear what I'm saying, but I'm also open to hearing back from you, the person I'm speaking to. The next stage, though, is that actually maybe it's not that clear-cut. Maybe it's not as simple as open body language good, closed body language bad. I think there's degrees on both of these. So you could be too open, you could be here all the time and you're just so desperate to show that you're really happy and friendly, and that's maybe too much open. Equally, if you get to really closed body language, that's probably too closed. But think about this for a second. You've got a message that's quite serious. You really need people to understand the gravity of it. If you're speaking with lots of animation, lots of gesture, that might take something away from that message. So for those moments, you might want to close the body down a little bit. So maybe the hands come down onto the lap. Maybe there's a little bit less animation. But then there'll be those situations where this does work really well. What I'd encourage you to do is try both of these out. Take your introduction speech, try doing it with a bit more animation and a bit more openness, and then try it with some more stillness and a little bit more close. You'll probably find one of those feels really familiar. Lots of us will have a preference. The ideal with this is to get to the place where both are available to you and you're able to use them to make sure that the situation you're in, the body matches, the voice matches, and the message is felt. Let's talk about eye contact. Now, it's something that comes up a lot with my clients, actually. They often want to know exactly where they should be looking and how much eye contact and who with, depending on the situation. Now, there's not really any hard and fast rules, but the thing to think about is that eye contact is a human nature way of connecting. So if you're getting some good eye contact going, your audience is likely to feel more connected. If they feel more connected, your message has more impact. Let's take a scenario where you're one-on-one with someone. You don't really need to overthink it, just see what comes naturally, but equally start to become aware in your communications if you maybe have a tendency to look away for long periods. Some of us, when we're thinking, do this. It's not a problem, but just make sure when you start to really engage again that you bring your eye contact back to your audience member. But what about if there's more than one person? That's when it starts to get more tricky, right? Well, here's a simple way to think of it. Instead of trying to connect with everybody all at once, which often leads to what I call scanning the room, that thing where you're just looking over everybody's heads in that attempt to communicate and connect with everyone, but actually you end up connecting with nobody. Instead, try this. I want you to think of it as one thought to one person. Or maybe if the words were on a piece of paper, It would be you get to a full stop and you change who you're speaking with. I'll give you a little example. I'm going to imagine you're here, there's someone over here, and there's someone over here. And I'm just going to do my introduction speech. Hi, my name's Emmy Broomfield. I'm a voice and speech coach working at the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama in London. And I'm here today to talk to you about communication. And that's as simple as it can be. If you've got a bigger room, great, you can make sure that as you're speaking, each sentence goes to a different person in the room. But the main takeaway from this is thinking about that connection. So if there isn't eye contact, it is harder for your audience to really receive your message. It doesn't need to be tricky. We just need to think about connection. One thought, one person. Another thought, another person. Try it out next time you're with a group. See how it goes.